Okay, I'm back, guys. I wanted to do an informational video today. Now that we're done with the specs and the computers and then the whole nerding out scenario. It's not a secret that Bitcoin's on fire right now. They're up. I got this article over here that hit 1133 today, and actually it's higher than that, but that's when this particular article was written. And basically, they're talking about how it's on fire again. I'm a little weary of it. Is it back on fire because all the regulations that are passing mainly in Japan, or is it on fire because um, people are a little weary of altcoins because Bitcoin's been around for so long? To be honest with you, I'm weary. However, I feel confident that the reason it's growing is because of the legalities in the other countries. This is a pretty neat article you guys should read. There's not a whole lot to get into it. I just, it's pretty exciting to see Bitcoin back up. When it's down to seven, eight, $900 from where it was. It's a pretty big hit. It bumps altcoins. That's awesome. You can make a little money off altcoins if you were smart around the switch. Jumped over, bought them when you could. Yeah, that's phenomenal. But there's a risk in no matter what. Did you stay too long in altcoins? Is staying in altcoins right now too dangerous? I don't really think so. Um, I'm looking over the market cap today, and I absolutely love coin market cap. You can see it's actually 1149 right now. And if you look at the trend, it's much more natural than it was before when it was just spiking up hard. So the growth, I think, is going to continue, especially with these new regulations. There is some interesting developments here, though. Ripple is still number three, um, which is pretty crazy in general. I believe that Ripple has a big future in the economy. I think it has a huge future in the economy, actually. It's at 33 cents, which is still pretty high up compared to what it was just a week ago. So I know Craig Grant threw out a video about second chance for Ripple, and a second chance for his investment style, absolutely. But it's definitely not Ripple's second chance specifically. I don't know how many chances they've had. Um, but I made a video just a couple days back, and I think the whole point of that was that right now is when you should be buying into this because there's no way that it's going to take number third by market cap and then drop way back down to like below the tens. And I mean top tens is what I'm referring to. So at 0.03 cents, you should be selling whatever you're making money. To be honest with you, I would recommend if you were to sell something and had something, I would be selling my Dogecoin because Doge is not. I read an article about how they're supposedly putting their money where their mouth is, and maybe I'll put that article up later. I actually retweeted it. You can read that. I didn't read the whole thing, but I wasn't super confident as I was reading it. I mean, Dogecoin's never been a big. I've never been a big fan of it. Um, but when it comes to this up and coming Ripple, up and coming again, rather, the fact that they're down to 33 cents right now just means that it had to retract because of how high it spiked. But that's not like I showed you the article yesterday. It showed you the math of why it was going to happen. So right now you need to reinvest because it's going to spring back up. And so is Dash. I'm not going to do this video about Dash right now, but they had their first open house. I think it was today or maybe it was yesterday. I can't remember which day it was. It had to have been today because I swear I saw the live feed up there. But anyway, I was going to post videos about that. I don't really want to talk about Dash today. I'm going to talk about Dash tomorrow. I want to give the market a day to calm down, and we'll talk about what it did with the open house, if it did anything to them. But yeah, so there is Ripple for you. It's pretty crazy that Litecoin is bouncing the way it is because I don't feel like it has anything more to offer. But I digress. There's a couple articles I want to read or look into rather, and this one is pretty interesting. I honestly didn't know that it was completely illegal in India to use Bitcoin. Period. So right now it is illegal to let's see, as it stands, Bitcoin buying, selling, trading, or mining is not legal by any law in India. However, they're being pushed to make December by or just decision by April 20th. Now they say the chances are that it's not going to happen by April 20th. However, basically, it says leading to false reports by major pub that claimed Bitcoin was deemed illegal by the Indian government. Whatever. The point is this: if you read through this article, they are going to make a determining factor pretty soon. And if India does that, which has actually been a discussion for the past week because Japan has been making such high moves, that's going to be a huge bump for Bitcoin. But you don't underestimate the altcoins because people are still trying to determine what is correct for them. Is it correct because Bitcoin has the most to offer, or is it correct because cryptocurrency in general is where most banks are going to be going? And I think the latter is more accurate. So there's that. This is a little kind of touch off of yesterday's um, information about Japan and legalities. I didn't realize this part of I don't know why I didn't run across this article, but there will be no more consumption tax on the sale of Bitcoin, which is pretty crazy. It's still kind of crazy to me that it's still considered an asset and not a currency. It is legal tender, but not a currency. Why the difference? I don't know. I don't write the laws. Um, but yeah, so the flat 8% consumption tax is no longer um, applied to Bitcoin. There are other taxes apparently though that will fly. To be honest, it's probably all gonna. Yep, see, I was just gonna say it probably all still relates to the capital gains tax, which is the biggest problem that any of us really have here, because it's a stock, but it's a currency. But I made this argument yesterday. I can't take my GM stocks, my Ford 500 stocks, put that shit on a card and go buy an Xbox with it. But you could with some of these currencies, not all of them. You will with Dash very soon. Um, be it that everything continues in that direction. So there's an added level of difficulty that I think is going to push for a different decision. So that's just something that bothers me. Hong Kong. Hong Kong has launched, basically what they did is because people were so interested in Bitcoin, they were looking for the next coin because everyone has FOMO, fear of missing out, and they got to find the next best thing, the next best thing. Well, some say it is Ethereum. Technically, by market cap, this is correct, but I'm not buying it because there's just not enough smart contracts. I mean, man, I can't put that argument out enough. Give me something that they're using, that everyone's using, that is mainstream, and Ethereum will blow up, and you'll feel silly that you didn't invest. Well, I won't because I'm not confident that that's going to happen. That's just the truth. So anyway, that's my little spiel on Ethereum. Maybe one day I'll get into it and we'll really break it down and see what Ethereum's future looks like. But Hong Kong seems to think it has one, so they've basically made a very specific type of trading agreement with them, and they added support for Ethereum along with Dash, which is why I'm always ranting about Dash. It's underrated right now. $60, you should be buying it, buying it, buying it. I think I got like 4 Dash set aside. I mean, I'd buy more if I could, but I can't be pouring, all of my cash into this. I have investments set up very particularly for this. So yeah, Hong Kong, making some moves here with cryptocurrency. And then, so here's some more Bitcoin news. The there's a tweet that was put out, basically suggesting SegWit does a combined soft fork hard fork, where right now they bump the block 2 megabytes, essentially doubling it, and then later turning it into whatever they feel they need to do. And he gave a pretty sound reasoning behind it. There was a whole bunch of backlash, but he came back and he basically said, you may wish you read some of the posts on this mailing list, basically talking about how they've been looking into this for quite some time and they need to make a resolution. And instead of making a resolution before there was a problem, they're trying to backpedal from now that there is a problem. I really hope Bitcoin figures this out because with all the big moves that are happening there, it's going to do nothing but move the whole cryptocurrency forward. I feel right now that Bitcoin needs to hold stability while these other altcoins make a big enough name for themselves that if Bitcoin does fail, which I'm not sure that it could. Warren Buffett has several $1 million, maybe even billion. I'm gonna say million. I'm gonna put an article about that. I'll put it in the description. I read an article about how much money he had in it, and if you think that that guy's gonna let this fail, maybe he will. I don't know. I doubt it. But then again, a couple $1 million Warren Buffett's chump change. He ate that for lunch. I don't know. Um, so I'm gonna throw this in here real quick. I'm not gonna rant on about Dash, but they did have their open house, and it was Friday. Really? I swear it was yesterday. I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. Whatever. Here's some information about the open house they had. It's all over YouTube. I'm sure you can find it. A couple people had some pretty sweet edits about it, pretty sweet clips that they've inserted. Um, Dash having an open house is nothing but good for all of us. This is smaller than we'd like it to be, but to be honest with you, all those people that are sitting in this picture right here are either already invested or are investing today, and good for them, because you got to be kidding me if you think that you're going to take time out of your day to go sit and listen to someone chatter on if they're not going to A, provide a service for you, B, help you make some money, or help you out of some sort of situation, whatever it is. They have to provide some sort of value added service to them. And Dash is a very lucrative service right now. Well, you can call it a service, I guess. But whatever, it's very lucrative right now. And with all the big changes they have, it'd be pretty silly to ignore them. The reason that they're number 4 right now really doesn't concern me all that much. Ripple, I know, is going up. You know what? I don't honestly even care if they stay at number 4, as long as they continue their growth. Because you know what? If they stay at number 4 and continue their growth, what does that tell you? That means number 3, number 2, and number 1 have all grown as well. And that's nothing but good things for the cryptocurrency world. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. You guys have a good night. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. If you like the information I put out, you can shoot me a donation. If you're into cloud mining, you're interested in making money off Dash or Bitcoin, use the Genesis Mining cloud mining site. Use my affiliate code. It helps us both out. Gives you 3% off. It's 2.5 or 3%. I'm not sure right now. And that gives me a little bump in Hashpower for providing that affiliate code to you. Also, I have my Twitter up and running right now, so go ahead and subscribe over there. I put a lot more articles and retweet a lot more articles. Not as much detailed content as I do in my YouTube videos, but enough to get a quick idea of where I'm getting my information, some of the sources that are available. And I'll tell you what, information is power.